Cheers. Oh, wait, put that cup up again. Let me see.
right? I
Shut
know
the
it's
front door. You can't even make this stuff
you
up.
can't make this up.
You
Not
literally can't.
scripted. This is not
We are
scripted.
so not scripted.
Not
Anybody who watches will
scripted.
know.
2 different homes. We're in different cities, and
Man,
flew here barely on time. So we had no discussion.
it's okay. Sometimes the best convo, look, I mean, it's kind of scary though. Like when we do our mortgage Monday and we clap at the same time, or we do
Mhm.
the same thing, or we say the same thing, it's getting quite scary, my friend. It's getting quite
Yes.
scary.
Well, full disclosure for everybody here that's gonna be watching, my dog, for some reason, there's someone walking a dog back and forth. It's a husky, and the owner will not allow the husky to meet my dog. So for the past 2 years, my dog goes crazy because all she wants to do is meet that dog.
Oh, I was gonna say
And
she's defending her territory.
no, she just
No,
wants to smell the dog, and the owner doesn't want another dog around his dog, so I
I think he's
completely
afraid. He's got a
respect
husky.
that.
Yeah, he doesn't want his
However,
husky.
every time this
Yeah.
husky goes by, she goes crazy.
He probably
So,
doesn't want
the
anything
husky
happening to your dog. His dogs might be a little bit like rough. You never know.
not
Might
just
just
smell each other, put them on the leash, get them to know each other, become best friends. It's okay, but because of this guy doesn't wanna do it and take the time, it's a my dog's about to go crazy. So long story short, if you hear my dog go crazy, it's the gentleman already walked by
it'll just be
twice
like background music. It'll be great. It'll be like our
of a
Tuesday
golden
evening
retriever.
background. Yeah. Why not? Why
Have
not? We
have
don't have like
her
a theme song yet, so it's fine.
have her
We gotta come up with
interject
a
her
theme.
thoughts
Yeah.
of the real estate.
Right? Who let the dogs out? That's what
Yes, that'll
we'll
be
do.
her.
That is what we'll
Like,
do. So I think we're doing gossip night, aren't we?
we are
Gossip
industry
night. Ooh.
gossip. Yes,
Industry gossip. Well,
girl boss version.
girl boss version.
So we should probably talk about girl bossing and what about let's talk about reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
completely unscripted here, everybody. Completely
Yep.
unscripted, but maybe we should talk about that in the industry, the
Yep.
gossip of
That's a
how
good
you should
one.
really be yourself.
Yes. We should. Well, because here's the thing. If you're in business for yourself in any, I don't care what you're in, you have to, your reputation is all you have. At the end of the day, your reputation, a couple things, your track record of success, right? What have you
Mhm.
done and who, your raving fans, but also your reputation on how, I always say, how you play in the sandbox with other agents. Because if you're known for having like, I like you call it the peacocking, where you just, puff yourself up and you're just,
Oh, I've been in this industry for
the brightest
25 years
light
and
ever.
I've closed this many deals. It's like, great,
Right.
you're old.
Right. We
I
get it.
respect
You've been here a
someone's
long time.
yes,
Yes.
I respect the length. I respect the knowledge. There's just an appropriate way to do it,
Right.
my opinion, that
Yeah. It's like if you have to keep saying it, what do they say? You doth protest too much or something? Or is it like you don't need to say it. Like I don't need to run around telling everyone I've been in the industry almost a decade. Like that's great. That does mean something, but it doesn't I've met people who've been in the industry less time than me that I have really respected and had a great interaction and we've done deals together and they've been fantastic and I would work with them any day of the week.
Mhm.
So it's like it's not always just about how long you've been in the industry. It's like, your attitude, like just be nice to people, get along with people because you're going to see them again. You will see
Well,
them again.
it's team effort. You have a
Right.
buyer's agent, you have the lender, you have the listing agent. Why make it difficult?
Can I give you my pet peeve?
Oh,
Can
please,
I just
because
give
I
my pet peeve?
almost was gonna about to say mine. You go first,
Okay.
you go
Okay.
first.
So I'll go first. Thank you for letting me go first. Here's my pet peeve, and this has happened. Um, oh, there you are. Are you still there?
I
You were
am.
gone
Can you
for
see me?
it went black for a second. Okay. I know. I had touched the screen and you came back. It was like magic. Okay. So my pet peeve is this. So here's the thing. When you are working for a seller, you want to market, you want to get as much exposure as you possibly can, get all eyes on the property. I run ads, I do all kind of stuff. So a lot of times what we've been doing recently, I've seen people do this a lot, and I love this idea. Agents, especially newer agents, if they don't have a listing, they'll just say, sometimes they'll email and ask you, hey, do you mind if I try to find a buyer for your listing and post your listing? I'm like, please, and tell all of your friends. I'm always saying share this, right? And so they make a post. And a lot of times they will put, you're supposed to at the bottom credit who the listing agent is. But honestly, who cares? Honestly, if they give me credit or not, if somebody goes on Zillow, let's say, they're going to see my name. They're going to know it's my listing. My sign's out front. Like, you don't have to be so small minded. There are so many agents that get mad if you do that. And there was one situation, we had an agent in the office and we were training to do this. She did exactly what we trained to do, posted this listing, and the agent was making comments under the listing, like, well, I'm the agent, this and that. And it's like, here's the funny thing, on her personal page, she had like 8 or 9 shares of his listing. I went to his page, he had 2, and he had like maybe 10 likes. I mean, no attention whatsoever. She was getting all this attention around this man's listing. And what I wanted to do, but I didn't do, I wanted to call him or post under it and say, I think I should snapshot your comments and send it to your seller so your seller can see that you're upset that another agent is promoting their listing. Because I guarantee that seller does not care who's putting it out there. And if this agent's doing a better job than you, got a little butthurt about that. And that's what it was. And like he tried to
Mhm.
embarrass her. And I was just like, You know what? You look
There's
the
no need
fool.
for
You
that.
look the fool
No
for doing
need.
that. Your seller
Mhm.
wins. Like, that's my pet peeve. Like, can we just take the attitude down a little bit? We all know that you're fantastic and you sell all this, blah, blah, blah. That's great. But like, if another agent wants to try to help you find a buyer and is trying to like build up their business, or maybe they're having, maybe it's a slower time. We've all been there. Like, why would you not want to get a little of extra attention? So if you're that agent, please don't do that. Don't be that person. Honestly, please don't be that person that doesn't want somebody to share your listing. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's still
Or
gonna
can't
sell.
be bothered to be called.
You wanna share that? Is that yours?
That is mine. Just
Are we leading
pick
into, are we
up
segueing? Is that a
pick up the
segue?
phone.
I like the
Pick
segue.
up
I wanna
the
get
phone. So with the comments that you're talking about putting it underneath and peacocking and just being negative and not uplifting the listing and the other person in this industry, I know it's a big industry, but it's also small at the same time.
Mhm.
Where we live in the Detroit metro area, we're very blessed to be in a big area for real estate, but yet it's still a small community.
Mhm.
So having that reputation, being known a very specific way, if you are going to make comments in a group setting, gotta be careful. Or
Yes.
even I can take it farther, just even calling anybody back. Just call someone back during a transaction
Right.
because you're servicing a family
Yes.
and everything, and
You're
to
getting
them, it's
paid to do this.
well, they're making a transaction when the ones on the other side know that we're servicing a family, and that's a big pet peeve. It's like, "No, please give us an update," or, "Hey, did the appraiser call?" or, "Hey, did this happen? Hey," and it's funny when the lender is the one reaching out a lot, like, "Hey, has the appraiser set that appointment yet? We know the due date, but have they set it yet?" So,
Yes,
that's one thing, but that reputation, it's a small community here.
it
Even
is.
though we're in a big populated area, the reputation and the ones we know, it's actually very small. So the moment you get out there and spew anything negative
Mhm.
in a group setting, you
Mhm.
got to be careful. It's such a reflection upon you.
Right.
You just got to be careful because especially putting in print like what you said, you almost want to take that screenshot and send it to the seller, go, "Look, are
Ooh,
you
I wanted
serious
to
right
so
now?
bad and just be like out that
How
agent to
many?"
that seller and be like, this is your agent not
Mhm.
wanting other agents to promote your listing. Can you
Yes.
imagine being the seller and seeing that? Like, I would be pretty livid. Like, especially if the house isn't selling for some reason, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like who cares who shows who puts it out there and gets the attention of the buyer? You're gonna still get the sale. Like that's what our job is. I always like ask everybody. I'm usually like, please share, please. Like I'm practically like little prayer hands, please share, please share this. Like share because everyone's got all these groups and sphere of
Yep,
influence that's
and you don't
yeah,
know who's gonna be moving, who would wanna be your neighbor, and that could very well
exactly.
be it as
I just
well.
don't get that. I just don't that just shocks me.
Now, actually, now that you bring that up, there was a house for sale 2 doors down. I shared the listing agent's post, and I'm, like, taking applications for a new neighbor. Only the best will qualify. And then I put, like, a wine glass, I put some emojis, like, some of
Love
the
that.
qualifying
Yes.
neighbor qualities we wanted,
Yes.
and it actually was frowned upon by the listing agent.
Oh,
I'm
come
like,
on. When did that happen? Recently?
"That happened." No, 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 the house sold, oh my gosh, 5 years ago,
Okay. That is so
and
terrible. Like, I don't get
I
that. You're a
know she
lender. Like, why would they not want your
well,
people to get eyes on? Again, it escapes me. And they try and use this baloney.
maybe I said
It's
I was taking applications. Like, I said I was taking
who
applications for new
cares?
neighbors.
Who
Like, we
honestly,
have a
it's BS.
qualifying
That's BS.
or
That agent needs to be, I mean, quite honestly, that's just so ridiculous. That to me, it's like, you know what they're gonna say? This is what, and then we had, oh, and I'll let me tell you something else. Same agent, this poor agent just kept getting her, she was getting flogged back and forth at that post, man. Literally, same agent kept going because we're like, just keep doing it. It's fine, just ignore that. Does the same thing. And this other agent, she's like been in the industry for 80,000 years. I didn't know who she was though, quite honestly. Called our office, called our associate broker and was angry and wanted her like disciplined over it. And
Are you
he was like,
serious?
so and so called her by
Oh, sh
name. He knew her because they had like like relationships, whatever, in the past. Like somehow they were connected and like made the connection
small
made the connection on
community
how,
in the
just so
real
you
estate
know,
world,
before
we
you
were
keep
so
going, we
small.
know each other, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
he's like, well, what is the problem exactly? I'm gonna call the top of EXP and whatever. And he's like, but why? Your listing, she's just promoting your listing. I mean, it was so ridiculous. She was irate over it. And I still, again,
Did
can't
they want
understand.
hashtags, or what did they
Just
want?
didn't
What
want
was
her listing being promoted on somebody else's page because, oh, and then here's the BS that some people will say. What if it's you're giving wrong information? I'm responsible for all the information. Dude, girl, it's your
there's an
information. It's
MLS.
from the MLS. It's literally a picture with the MLS information.
Okay.
I could see if they were like, hey, we got a brothel on the corner up for sale. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing that.
We're
Nobody,
gonna
nobody's saying, "Hey, 10 people were murdered here last yesterday, but it's for sale now." I mean, they're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're legitimately trying to help you sell your listing. Bring it down. You're at a 10. Let's bring it,
we're in a
like come to a good
brothel.
old
You
4. It's not a brothel. Nobody is, you know, I don't even know. Like what, so I need to know. I need to know if somebody can tell me what the psychosis is of these agents that get upset.
I
Oh,
don't
you're gonna
know.
misrepresent my listing. Dude, you aren't
But
representing it at all
again,
because that thing's getting no attention. So you should be thankful.
in today's world, when you can take a screenshot or share a voicemail,
Hmm.
you just gotta be
Oh,
careful,
voicemail. Don't even get
especially
me started on the
leaving a
voicemail.
voicemail. Oh, I
Who leaves voicemail? Who does
oh,
that these days?
oh. Oh,
Who leaves incriminating voicemail? Well, I'll tell you, some people do because I have a couple of them on my phone.
no, no, no.
Not
Yeah,
real estate,
yeah.
not
I
real
I
estate
have a
related.
I have I have some saved,
Who
but there was
doesn't?
this well, here's so we have a loan officer in my office who had we now call certain files by that client's name if
Okay.
they're on a deep level of
Crazy.
slightly where they make it everybody else's fault. So
Okay.
if they didn't get us documents, even though it was written in an email, it's our fault. Or
Of course it's
something's
wrong.
our fault.
Absolutely.
And so she left some really nasty messages. I finally got on the phone with her. I'm like, I'm the manager. And I told her this. And then she called me about 2 weeks later. She's like, I want to talk to the manager. I'm like,
Hi, it's me. Hi.
hi, it's me.
That's
I'm
my
the
department.
problem. Okay. And I'm not the man. It's just like I oversee that loan officer. And it was just unreal what she was saying, but yet I knew all the correspondence. I read all the notes, and it was "woe is me," and she left this really nasty voicemail, and I'm like, "This is so incriminating." We almost had to, like, just be done, and I told her, I'm like, "I'm sorry, if you're not happy, you can go somewhere else." At this point, and who
Yeah.
turns anybody away in our industry? We finally
You
said
gotta
it,
be really
but
crazy to get kicked out right now from an agent or a lender. Like
no,
I've
she
never actually had to do it. I've come close early on in my career, but that was probably more on me because I didn't set the expectations properly, and I was just so happy to have be running around with buyers that I didn't set the expectation that I was not a glorified Vanna White, you know.
uh-huh.
Right. They were gonna have, there was like you gotta do your part over here, you know. You actually have to want a house now. But yeah. But yeah, you've got to be really bad to have
Yeah,
anybody in our industry right now tell you, I don't want to work with you.
it's
That's
it was just
yeah.
so unusual of yeah, you just
I've got
don't put it in
voicemails. I mean, this is
writing.
off the beaten track. I've got just maybe one right now. I used to have more, but I lost one of them. I've got a voicemail that somebody would definitely not want me to ever unleash. And I won't, as long as,
But it's
I don't need
out
to. As
there, so you gotta be
long as
careful.
I don't need to, it
Industry
shall never see the light
gossip,
of
you
day.
just gotta be careful of who you're talking to, the messages you're leaving,
Yes,
because
be
it's such a
careful. What are
small
you doing?
community.
Everything's recorded. And here's the other thing. Some more industry gossip. When you have a listing, as I do right now, you have to assume when you're walking through houses that people have cameras and listening. They can see you and hear you
Yes,
because
the
they can.
Ring
I've
camera.
got people walking through my seller's house right now. She's like, Holly, they got 18 kids and they're jumping all over the couches. And I'm like, or they won't take their shoes, like, they won't take their shoes off. There's like a sign, like, please take your shoes off. And I have little booties who refuse to do it. It's like, I don't understand. Like, first of all, that's the buyer's agent's problem. Like, you're control your people. It's your circus. These are your monkeys. This is your circus. These are your monkeys. You're walking
Get
through
them
my
off the
client's
couch.
house.
Get
Let's
them
go.
off
Get
the
your leash
couch.
out or something. Get those kids on a leash. Honestly, you don't have kids running through a house jumping on other people's furniture. I mean, this is parenting 101, but this is definitely agenting 101. I'm sorry, can you please get your child off my this is not our house, like, no, you
Now,
can't do that.
what about the Ring camera when someone steps out and starts discussing the house?
You can
What
hear
have you
everything.
seen
Does
of
every do
that?
people not know this? You can
The
hear
Ring camera picks up
everything.
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 The communication,
Right.
their them I don't know. So for the people out there watching, I'm about to list my house and I'm the lender. Holly is gonna be listing it for me. And we do open houses together.
Mhm.
Like we're a team, we do that. And so Holly asked me, "Do you want to be here for your own open house?"
Like, I'm
I'm like,
like, is
"I
that a thing? Are
cannot
you allowed
hear."
to be? I don't even know if you can.
Oh,
It's
I
not
bet
against
you
industry
could.
standards. You can be there.
However, it would be awkward to hear.
Well, you would we
where
wouldn't
no,
tell anybody because that would make them awkward. Then they wouldn't really wanna
mm,
walk through it maybe
I
enough.
slightly entertained the idea of selling my house right after we built because the industry blew up. I built my house for about this much, and then about 2 months later, the homes in my subdivision went up here. A year later, it went up here. Like, we instantly made 150,000 or 100,000
It's a
in
good
just
day.
months,
That's a good
maybe
day.
100,000 because it was 2014, they started building,
Mhm.
and I entertained the idea of selling our house. So I listed it for sale by owner. I had about 3 people come in, and because it's for sale by owner, I had to be here. Well, the 3rd or 2nd person who came, one of them said, "Oh, the Christmas tree would look great right there." I
That's how
was
you know
like,
they love it when they start
"Bitch."
placing that
Oh,
Christmas
can I
tree.
say that?
When they
Oops.
start placing
I'm
that
like,
Christmas tree, I'm like, "Should I
"No.
get the contract? Should I just run to the car? Are we
No."
what do
Well,
we?"
the Christmas tree did not belong there. That actually was a very bad place where they said it
But
was
when they
gonna
start
be.
talking about where the Christmas tree is gonna go, that is my
I was
litmus
so
test.
offended.
Unless they don't have a
I
Christmas tree,
know,
obviously, but
but I
most of
was
them do, and
offended.
yeah. I'm like, when they
I was
start picking out spots for the Christmas tree, I'm like, "Oh, this is better than when the kids start picking out their bedrooms."
I know, but it hurt so bad because when I built the house, I built a corner and the nook a certain way for the Christmas tree, and how do you
You
not
made
know
a
that's where the
Christmas
Christ
tree nook
I
in
was like,
your
so I was offended
plans.
as a homeowner. So I don't think I could be at my own open house because if they mention where the Christmas tree goes and it doesn't belong there, I don't know if I can handle
Well, I'll tell you what, when I sell my
it.
house, I'm not even going to do an open house because, first of all, industry gossip, let's just gossip about me. I am the worst client. I'm convinced I'm the worst client. I don't even know exactly where I want to go yet. It's almost like you know too much. And last time I listed my house before I moved in here, um, I drove my car down the street and I just walked because I didn't have the cameras back in 6 years ago, whatever, when I sold almost 7 years ago. I watched. I watched who was going in. Not for any reason, fair housing, relax. But I just needed to know who are these people that are going into my house. Like it was like this control. It was like I couldn't like I have
Mhm.
strangers in my house and oh my gosh, they better take their shoes off. You know what I mean? Like I was like a freak, like sitting there just like, oh my gosh, there's strangers walking through my house. I'm the agent. And I'm like, you're the worst. You thank God nobody ever has to work with me but me. Terrible. And
Okay,
so I'm not gonna be able to do an open house here because I'm gonna just be like, it's just, yeah. It'll be better
so
if somebody just has to hog tie me and take me out,
yeah.
bring the people in. So I get it. That's why I work really well with control people who have control issues. And when they're sellers and they're really nervous about it, I'm like, I hold their hand. I'm like, I got you. I understand. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. I get it. It's weird. So I don't expect you to be able to do it either because it's like, I don't know. It's just
Someone
so
walking through.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm prepared for it, even though I built this house to sell the house. I
Right.
know when Anna got to a certain age that we would be selling, and I took the pantry and the kitchen pantry, I extended it 2 feet. So I have a 5-foot L-shaped walk-in pantry,
Mhm.
knowing that would be a selling point. So I built it to
Oh, for
sell it.
sure.
It's a ranch
Pantries and
walkout
big
against the
laundry
road.
rooms.
Oh,
Why did
my
these
laundry room.
builders make now they're doing better. But like my house was built in 99. Like I have a huge kitchen. I mean, I have more cabinets. I have a huge kitchen. My my laundry room is pitiful and I don't have like a full I should if I'm gonna sell my house I shouldn't talk too much but like my pantry it's not really a pantry it's not a walk-in pantry and I'm like looking around and I see all this opportunity I'm like okay this didn't the kitchen didn't need to be this big I could have a bigger laundry room or I could have a folding area and my own closet to hang stuff and I could have a walk-in pantry and they just didn't they missed the boat they missed the boat now they're getting it I feel like women finally are heard because we're like,
It's
it's
resale.
yeah,
You wanna please. For me, the heart of the house is a kitchen.
definitely.
I love the kitchen area. I love when people show up, they sit down at the island, We have coffee, tea, whatever. I just think the heart of the home is the kitchen, and I
Yes.
absolutely love it. So having that opportunity to build that pantry a little bit deeper for snacks and making it that whole area more inviting. So I'm glad that I was able to do it when we built this home and I could control it because we built ground up. We didn't buy halfway done. We didn't buy almost done. I bought the lot, chose a lot, bought the lot, chose the floor plan, and manipulated the floor plan.
That's
So
awesome.
I
I
did
wanna
it.
do that. I did
No,
that when
you
I got
don't. No, you
married,
don't.
but I wanna do it again for myself. My next place, that's my dream, actually. That's why I was gonna that's part of why I decided
Oh,
not to sell right now, because I would love to build, or at least have it started. Because I don't know if I have enough patience to wait that long, but at least maybe find something that started and I can still put my touches on and I can change some stuff up. But
yeah.
so the other thing I want to talk to you about for doing industry gossip is so the big gossip, of course, is the whole NAR lawsuit. And so here's what this is what I've been thinking, and I have said it a few times, and I've heard a few other people say it. So now I feel confident enough to put it out into the everything, because everything that we put out, someone could call us out and be like, "You said that, remember on February, or what is it, February, April 24th? You talked about that." But like, so the whole thing about sellers paying commissions on both sides, which has always been an option. I will continue to say that. They never had to do it. They never had to do it at all.
Mm.
But the reason they did it, we already know, is because, of course, the buyers have so much that they have to pay. What's going to happen? This is my prediction. So I will put it out. So I won't be a Monday morning quarterback. I will put it out there. I believe that smart sellers, and I've already started talking to them, and they get it. I believe that they're going to say to themselves, this is what I'm going to do when I sell my house. Okay. So if there's some sellers that aren't going to pay the buyer's agent commission, that means that buyer has to pay it. That means if I offer to pay, we're going to call them concessions after July 15th. But if I pay it as the seller, that means that agent, number one, my house became really like, oh, we want to show this house, right? Obviously. And doesn't have to have that conversation with the buyer, like, you're foot the bill here. And the buyer now is going to find out, because that agent will say, oh, they've already had that conversation because we have to. This is one of those situations where the seller is offering to pay concessions toward my commission. That that buyer's gonna be like, sold. Honestly,
Done.
think about it. If the buyer has to pay their own agent on some houses, but not on these houses, it's
Mhm.
just, hello. Like, what? Of course, they're gonna want to go to the house that they don't have to do that. So we've been talking, and that's why I'm kind of like, I'm not worried about it. I think sellers, I'm gonna always, it's always a conversation. The conversation never wavers. It's always the same. It's a negotiation. And this is how it's always been done traditionally in the past. But here's why. Here's why. We have that conversation because the buyers have to. Do you want the buyer to be able to afford your house? Yes. Do you want them to give you what you want? Yes. And the comps are already right here. So if you want the buyer to be able to do that, the buyer only has so much buying power. And if they've got to also pay their agent, it's going to affect your offer. It's going to affect your offer. Now, if they just said, if they came to us and said, you know what, sellers are not allowed to pay a buyer's agent. Well, I'll tell you what would happen. I believe that the pricing would just go down quickly. It would just shoot down about whatever that
I don't see
commission's
that
going to be.
happening. I
I
mean,
don't see that
until we judge.
happening. It's not going to happen because
Yeah,
sellers get
no,
it. There's a
no.
reason why it's been done this way.
Mhm.
Even though there's always been a choice, there is a reason why it's been done this way. So
Well, so
buyers can afford to buy your house.
what
Comps are
I've
up here.
seen.
Hi,
Oh, thank
Martin.
you. Thank you,
Thank you
Martin.
for
Yeah, that's a
saying
good
that.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, because seriously though, Martin, I don't know if you're still on, are you a seller or buyer or have a house, or just somebody that's been listening to all this rhetoric craziness where the news, by the way, is getting it wrong? The news
Well,
has
and
gotten it. The news
so
just wants to sensationalize everything, make everything
I
a drama.
I am on a couple board groups keeping up with the industry throughout the whole United States. So I'm in a couple lender groups that talk all over. And the one thing that I'm impressed about and what I've seen is that they're trying to get away from steering. And
Hey, you can't
we're
do
not,
that.
I
Yeah.
know, but we're not used to that where we conduct our business. I'm very thankful that we have a higher, how would I explain it? That we hold ourselves to a higher standard. We communicate, you have listing appointments, you discuss in the listing appointment how the buyer's agent gets paid. We're
Hmm.
already educating out there, which is huge. So, but what I've seen is that there's other lenders discussing where they live in other states, how nobody, it's all hush hush, and they will not show a home if it's a 2% or 2.5. There's actually steering going on,
Oh, I
but
know.
it's
I
not in
know.
our area. We're not
Right.
used to that over here. So
Hmm.
to us, we're like, of course, why is this even a thing? It baffles us here in the Metro Detroit area, but
Right.
in other areas that they are saying from the listing agent, I'm only going to give you 2%. I want 4
Right.
or I want this. So it's been a more eye-opening as I hear others discussing this in the middle of these boards that are in different areas of located in the United States.
Exactly. And so Martin, that was the third thing, and I didn't say. I was actually thinking that you were. I'm like, I bet he's an agent. So I'm glad that you are putting yourself out there to learn, because here's the thing, you're going to learn the right way. I think a lot of agents did not learn properly, because it's always, when you're a buyer's agent, you still have to earn your worth, your keep,
Your
per se.
stripes.
You have to earn your stripes,
You
but
have
you
to
have to
earn
explain
your
to the
stripes.
buyer why they would hire you. And
Mhm.
every buyer consultation I have, this is my exact, when we talk about commission and how I'm paid, I'm saying, here's the good news for you. In many situations, the seller will pay most or all of my brokerage. Now, this was, of course, before this commission. However, if that seller is not doing that, I will let you know, this is my fee, this is my brokerage fee, and you would be responsible for making up the difference, because obviously, I get paid for what I do. And they're like, of course, of course, of course. So that's always been that conversation from the beginning. Hey, good news. This is the fee. However, the seller may be paying most or all of it. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted on that. And then it's a decision on their part. And there have been times where I have come up with, there's a listing that's offering a lesser than my commission. And I've been running around showing houses, going from Timbuktu to everywhere. And and I've been doing a great job putting in 100 offers, whatever I'm doing. So we have that conversation. Before I show the house, I say, listen, here's what they're offering on this one. Before I show it to you, I just want to make sure that you're okay. Before I even show it to them, I make sure that we're on the same page, because I don't want to show it to them and then have them love it and be like, "Oh, by the way." So that's what you have to do. You just have to do good business. Shocking.
The communication. Have good
Communication.
communication.
Don't be afraid to talk about commission. Why everyone's so afraid
Transparent.
to talk about the fact that we get paid? Yes, we actually get paid for what we do. We're not we're not independently wealthy. We don't just do this for fun. We do it because we love it, but we do get paid for it. That's a conversation. There's nothing wrong with that conversation. And I
I like to
love
be
that
paid for what I'm
conversation.
worth.
Yeah, and I like to talk about what I do. And I'm
It's
with the seller, I
okay.
talk about what I do for them. And when I'm with the buyer, I talk about what I do for them. And there's times where a seller may pull their listing for whatever happens. And then they might put it back on. They might have to wait. Life happens. A buyer, we've had buyers. I've run around with buyers for a year or two on and off, still haven't bought anything. So it's like that commission that I'm
Wait,
getting paid.
wait, wait. Can we cheers to Anna? We love you, Anna.
Right.
I'm just
I'm
gonna
not
call
talking,
her out.
I love her. I'm not talking about her.
I'm
But I'm
gonna
just saying,
call
it's not,
her
it's
out.
happened to me
We
a
love
lot.
you,
But the
Anna.
point is, legitimately, I will get paid someday, I hope. Like, I'm not just running around showing houses forever. Like, so that's the thing. one thing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
real estate, what about the industry secrets, is that everybody should know this. We don't get paid like the rest of you do. Like we don't get paid a check. I wish we could make it that, we would be able to do that, but we get paid when we close. So if we're running for 3 months, we're working for free for 3
For 3
months.
months.
Our closings that are happening are basically funding our life so that we can continue to do what we do. I mean, that's just, unless you're, of course, independently wealthy and you've saved up a bunch of money and you weren't a single mom that was just trying to like bootstrap it all the time. But,
Oh, yes.
some
Trying to
days
raise these kids who wanna do
who you
everything
want to give
under the
your, yeah,
sun.
you want to give them a nice
Yeah.
life, and you want to actually have a decent life. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. So Martin, I'm excited that you're a new agent in Macomb County. So we should talk later on.
Cheers.
If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Cece's an amazing lender. If you don't have a lender partner, I'm not just saying that just because she's sitting here. She really is the best. Really awesome. There's a reason why we have the same cup.
Oh my gosh, I still
Where'd the
can't
cup
get over
go?
that. Oh, it's
Where'd your
right
cup
here.
go? Oh,
Right here, right
show the
here.
cup. Okay. Yeah.
Should look up.
That was just
That
a thing.
I love
Yeah. So,
raisin. Yes.
but yes, there's so much going on. There's so much going on in real estate. And honestly, I feel like if everybody, and I do mean everybody, just decided to just bring it down, like I said, at a 10, bring it four, five, but just bring it down. Every situation, does not have to be,
Simmer.
here's, like you have to like prop yourself up every time. Like it's okay to have a conversation and work together for that win-win. That's what we're supposed to do. Look for a win-win for everybody. It's okay if everybody wins. That means that sometimes everybody loses a little bit too, but sometimes that's a really great negotiation and a great compromise to keep everybody. The whole goal is to close the deal, not to be like, oh man, I got him, I got it for top, I got him way under, and we got him on the inspection and the appraisal came and we slapped him again. Like, honestly, it's like you may feel good about that,
Yeah.
but your wins, but at the same time, we're all trying to get to the closing table. The seller needs to win, the buyer needs to win, the agents, we'd like to win too. So you're welcome, Martin. We're here every Tuesday, 6:30. Make sure you join us and bring your comments and questions and tell your friends. We'll have a big old conversation going. It's a lot of fun.
Because what so next week, are we discussing seller stories?
You are better at remembering than I on
Yes,
our
I think
seller
it's
stories. Okay.
seller stories
Fun
next
seller
week.
stories. So we should have some agents like pop in the comments and tell some good seller stories. I love hearing real estate stories. I always say we should write a book,
Everybody
a
should put a
compilation of the
chapter in.
crazy, yes, the
Well,
funny,
the
the
funny
heartwarming.
oh my gosh. Isn't it addicting though? Okay, it's addicting. That feeling, it
Hmm.
is a rush in itself when we take the photos, they sell the house, they're talking to the buyer, and they're telling them. And I love when the seller talks to the buyer and they're like, "Oh, and I installed this, and oh, I did this. Here's my phone number if you ever need help."
Yes.
That it's so cool. We had a closing, which by the way, it's his birthday today, and
Yes.
it was just cool to see the seller talk to our client like, "Hey, we'll go get a beer." Like,
Yes.
they're going to be friends, right, this
And
summer.
the other agent invited us to lunch after. I'm
I know
like,
oh, we never got
why
together.
can't every deal be like this? Like, honestly, if we could just clone like that situation, and if that could just be like rinse and repeat, I would be, it's just Reese. Hi, Reese. I
I
would love
know.
that if every
Brought me
deal
a
could
toy.
be like that. I'm just happy when everybody can be in the same room. I mean, my bar used to be up here. Now my bar's like, if everybody's getting along. I mean, you have closings where you're like, okay, we're gonna need 6 rooms because nobody's talking to anybody, and nobody can be in the same room together.
Mhm.
Oh, I would love to
Yeah.
work with you too. Absolutely. I hope we can, Martin. Keep us updated on your listings and your buyer needs, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely make that happen. And if you're not with EXP, why aren't you with EXP, Martin? I'm just kidding. Shameless plug. Kidding, not
Shameless
kidding.
plug.
Kidding, not kidding. Let's talk later. Let's do coffee. Yeah. So
Have to bring your own mug.
yeah, you have to get a
Wha
girl boss.
No. Okay, what about is there a man boss or just
No,
boss?
there's enough man bossing. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
nope.
There's enough man bossing in the world.
Yes.
That's why you'll never see a man boss. Go.
Well,
Did I
so
go too far?
back to so back to us and the gossip of the industry. So next week we'll talk about seller stories, which I
Yes.
find fun. But
Yes.
anything else that you want to wrap up with the industry gossip or anything at all?
I feel like we hit the high points.
Felt
Like,
like
let's
we
recap. Don't be that guy. Don't be the agent that has to be like, I've been in
or
the industry
female or
75,000 years,
peacocking.
four score a year ago when I became a. Don't four score us with your time in the industry and be a jerk. Just
Mhm.
don't posture. Don't be that agent that doesn't let one of the newer agents post your listing on social media and get you some attention. Stop getting upset about that. Don't call brokers. Don't get upset. What else? What else? What else do we say? Answer your phone.
Answer the phone and keep a
Pick
good
it up.
reputation.
Keep your reputation intact.
Yes.
Yes, play nice in the sandbox.
Yeah, because everything can be screenshotted or a voicemail can be
Yes.
shared, and it's
Voicemails
easy.
can be shared. Some people should know that. Sorry. And
Yes.
social media posts, they never go away. I don't care if you delete them. Ask Kwame Kilpatrick. That stuff that stuff will come back to bite you. I don't care. You can delete. You can delete stuff off your phone and off social media. It's still there. And when you
It
go
is.
to a showing, sorry, Kwame, if you're watching. I heard that you had a turnaround.
I don't
And
even
you're
care if he's
doing amazing.
watching.
And you're doing. I've heard that he's doing amazing now, and he's had a total turnaround. Um,
Well,
but
my
when you
in-laws
go,
still lost a lot of their pension, so I'm glad he's turned around.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, you
They're
don't like
both
that.
Detroit employees and they lost a lot of their pension.
Forgot about
Sucks.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
that's not
There is a
cool.
lot of people affected, unfortunately. But anyways, that's gossip. Well, it's not
That is
well,
gossip. Oh,
it's a
and the
true
last part of
gossip.
it, that's true gossip,
That's true
is
gossip.
when you're walking through another person's home that does not belong to you.
There are cameras.
Take the shoes off if they request that you do so, or if you're just dirty and it's rainy and just take them off. And there are cameras. They can hear you, they can see you. And as the listing agent, it's like so embarrassing for your client to be like, Holly, kids are jumping on my couch. I mean, it's not my fault. There's legitimately nothing I can do about it, right? But it's still, it's just like, can we not?
Do we even need to say it? It's our
Uh,
face. Like,
Do I
come
need to
on.
put that in the listing? Please do not allow your children to jump on the couches. Do we gotta
Unfortunately, I feel like
gotta
in this.
put that in there? Do I have to put that in there in the listing? This house is just under $1 million. Come on, guys, up your game. Agents that are
Yes.
bringing these clients through here. Come on.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
got this. We can do better. Let's
Level
put
up.
all, what is it? When all the water rises, all ships rise. Let's work together to build up our industry. I mean,
I
the
like
people outside are trying
that.
to take us down. These agents, attorneys, they won this
Say
lawsuit.
it
It was
one
a
more
big money
time.
grab. Let's all work together and bring our industry up. Lift
No,
it
but
up.
what?
Yeah,
Yes,
when the tides rise, all ships rise.
I like
Let's
that. When the tide
I
rises,
didn't make it up. I wish I could say I did. Yeah, it's like when the tide rises, all ships, they all
I
rise
like
together.
that because I feel like
Yes.
that's pretty much what we do. We love uplifting. We love being cheerleaders.
Yes.
So I love it.
Dude, cheerleader for life over here. I have was a cheerleader. I'm always gonna be a
I
cheerleader. Even if I'm
recoiled.
not winning anything, I'm
Nope,
happy
I
for somebody. Like,
recoiled.
yeah.
Nope, I was the one in the back of the I was the one at the football games, but in the parking lot
You were
bullshitting.
tailgating? You were the
Yeah.
tailgater?
Well, no, I can't admit that. My dad may watch. I was just
I
hanging
feel like
out.
there's still even at this age, isn't that funny how we still don't wanna we don't wanna
I don't want my
tarnish.
dad.
I want to
Nope,
tarnish
nope.
our perfect little. My
My
dad still
mom's
tells the
cool. I
story.
don't want my
He tells
dad to
everybody what a
know.
good kid I
I'm
was, and
glad
my
you were the
brother.
cheerleader
Yeah,
because
we were
I
good
was the
kids.
one that, that was in the parking lot with my friends.
Yes, this is a microphone. Thank you that it's good audio quality. This is a new one. It actually charges in its own case. They have some with the little, looks like little muffin top, like little muffs on them, but this one is supposed to be even better, and it has a separate button. If I hit it, which I'm not going to, I don't want to mess it up right now. I don't know if I could do it right now, but it's supposed to turn green for noise reduction. So if I'm outside and there's wind, it's a noise reducer. So yeah, it's on Amazon, honestly. And I always get a double mic because when Cece and I do our mortgage Mondays and we're sitting together, we each have two mics on because you plug the other piece into your phone. We have two phones going, so we are able to do that. So yeah, get the dual. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that, Martin. You're like our VIP, Martin, because I had somebody, let me do another little whatever. I had somebody pop on when Ken and I were doing Mortgage Monday. This guy popped on and was dissing us like, "Oh my gosh, your audio quality, we hear echo." And he was just going on and on. And I was like, dude, pop off. Nobody said you had to be like being so rude. And I'm like trying to like talk and I'm posting all this stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? So finally, some places you go are a little bit echoey. So yeah, this does help. Whatever. So don't be that person that's like, again, being negative. Be like Martin. Give a compliment. Say something nice. Come on
Yeah.
alive. Absolutely. And we'll get more
Well,
people talking. I would love to get some more comments. I would love to get questions too. If someone has a question, don't feel like just because we're bantering that you can't
oh, even about
randomly. We have ADD.
pre-qualification.
We can go down the rabbit hole. You got a question, ask your question. We
Well,
can
just even, "Can I afford this?" Or just a quick, like, prequel, like, "Hey, I make about this amount of money. This house is worth about this," or, "Hey, I wanna sell my house and my mortgage is about this. What should I get back for net proceeds? How should I use those net proceeds?" I mean, that's all more buyer questions
Mhm,
and
mhm,
seller for knowing net proceeds. We love those kinda comments and just can start
absolutely.
rattling numbers off in a heartbeat.
And I'm just about to do something. I'm going to reach out to all my former clients and do an equity report for them. This is something that this is part of a service I'm going to start offering where they can take a look at, when you get your assessment, where your taxes are at, where the county or the city says where
Yes.
what your house is worth, where you're being taxed. So
Yeah.
I'm going to create an equity report for my past clients so that they can see, hey, this is where they say your house is worth, but here's really where your house is worth. So here's what you have in what we call equity, right? And what look at where their mortgage is at and talk to
Oh,
them about that.
yes.
I'm going to do an equity report because here's the thing, it's not always about me being able to sell a house. They may want to stay in their house. I still want them to think of me for real estate stuff. I still want to provide value. So I want to be able to say, by the way, when we bought this house, remember when we walked through and you were like, yeah, I really want to redo that bathroom. Let's take a look at this. Because now, where you pay down in your mortgage, and if they have an FHA, I'll remind them if they've got that 20 or no, not FHA, sorry, conventional, if they've got the 20% FHAs forever, the 20% with the conventional, if they, can get that PMI off, that's another audit.
21. They go down
They
to
right?
78. Yeah,
Yeah.
they go down to 78 and some change. But with that
But
with
I can let them
the
know that if they can do the
increase.
bathroom now, I'll be
Uh-huh.
like, listen, did you do the bathroom? No, Holly didn't do the bathroom yet. Girl, you could do the
Do the
bathroom. Let me explain
bathroom.
how. Yes, you've got equity now. And I want to like go over that picture with them. So, like, again, I want to up my game. I want to continue to offer some value. And it's not just about getting you in
Okay.
the house. I want to be there to continue to do that. So, it's something that I'm going to put together. I want it to look cool and be like a nice, something I can pop over and just, maybe do a quick walkthrough so they can show me what they've done in the house lately. And then we can just go through it and I can say, this is what's going on with your house. Let me see that assessment. Okay. I can see
I
that. Here's
love
what's going
that
on.
idea. Holly, that's
Yes.
amazing. No, I really like that
Yes.
idea. That's
Yeah.
gonna be so beneficial for the families that you've served. Huge. That's a huge value.
And it's just another excuse for me to come over and be like, "Got
Yeah.
coffee?"
Mhm.
I might just show up at coffee. It might be around my coffee. I call it a feeding around 1 o'clock. If they're home, be like,
Yes.
hey, by the way,
And
do
I
you have
have
an
a
espresso maker? Do
well, I have a
you have good
closing
creamer?
this Friday, and I know when I pass through that threshold, she makes everything homemade. It
Okay.
is a fresh baklava, fresh there's a whole bunch that,
Ooh.
she has and makes in these big batches of quantity, and it's a cash out refinance for an investment property of theirs, and they are so delighted, they're repeat clients, I've handled their family, the gentleman owns a gas station, he refers me to so many people. But now that, it's a refinance and it's not a traditional closing at a title company, now I have to go to their house and it's at 2 o'clock. Guess what time do you think I'm gonna leave their house? Just guess.
5.
I I'm gonna try to make it out by 5, and I'm gonna
You're gonna
hope
have
for
dinner with them.
4.
You're gonna
Yes,
be at the dinner table. They're gonna set a
and
place for
he's gonna
you,
be
and you're gonna get.
serving
Oh,
me
that
these,
sounds like the
like
place you wanna
oh,
be anyways. You'd be like,
cannot wait.
can my daughter come?"
Can't wait. I cannot wait for this closing. I know what they're gonna be doing. I know how they're great hosts. The moment I pass that threshold, I'm gonna get fresh goodies, coffee, little cakes because they're so
Oh,
thankful.
tell her I'll be her real estate agent next time,
No,
please.
they live right across from you on Fairfield. So you know where the high school is?
Yeah. On Fairfield. Which sub? Across Heinrich? Or are you talking about 21?
It's right across, right next this it's a subdivision right next to the high school. It's Fairview.
Oh, okay.
I
Next to
don't know it.
Dakota. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
I forget the name of the street yes, I know exactly
So
what sub that
excited.
is.
So I'll be
Yep.
there. Yep, yep. Maybe I should text you, like, "Can you come get me?" And I'll, like, hand you the baton so I can leave, and then you get all the fresh round 2,
Yes,
round
I would
2.
love to come and have some food and coffee. Absolutely. Anytime I
Yes,
can get out of having to cook, I don't well, because nobody's usually here because everyone's, I'm almost an empty nester at this point. I have to go live my best life in Florida, I guess, back and forth.
maybe.
All right. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you again, my friend. Cece Machieski of Simple Home Lending, rock
Yes.
star lender and a half.
Well,
Um,
thank you for having me on your channel.
of
Definitely appreciate
course,
it as a
every
guest.
week, every week we're doing this. You can't get out of it now. You're stuck like glue. You're a girl
Like
boss with
glue.
me. We're girl bossing.
Yes,
So, and thanks everybody who is joined us live. If you're joining us later, that's amazing. Still post some comments or questions. We love those. We want to answer them. And if you haven't already, please like this live and subscribe, and also tap that little bell for notifications so that you will know every time we go live or when I post content, because I absolutely love posting content, really community based things that are going on in real estate. And you're welcome, Martin. And anything we can do to help out, that's what we're here for. We absolutely love getting our cues from the community. So, with that said, everybody have a spectacular weekend, and we will see you back here next week, 6:30 on Tuesdays.
bye.